My parents texted me, "We donated your things to Goodwill. You obviously don't value this family anymore," right after I missed one Sunday dinner for a work deadline. Then my mom added, "Your brother's fiance is moving into your old room. You'll be covering their car payment starting this month. $410, due by Friday." When I said that was absurd, she wrote back, "Then don't bother calling us anymore. We're done being your family." So I stopped calling, but I made one phone call that night, and it wasn't to them. What they conveniently forgot was that when my dad's contracting business collapsed 4 years ago, I was the one who co-signed the truck loan, the home equity line, and 2 of their credit cards, because their names alone couldn't get approved for anything anymore. I was 23 at the time, freshly employed, and terrified of watching them lose the house I'd grown up in. I never once complained, not even when it meant putting off buying a car of my own for 2 extra years. I just quietly became the financial safety net nobody ever bothered to thank me for. And honestly, back then, I didn't think I needed thanking. I thought that was just what family did for each other. Here's the full picture. I'm 27, work as a logistics coordinator, and still lived at home because rent in this city is obscene. Every month I handed over $600 toward the mortgage, on top of covering my own car and student loans. My younger brother, Colin, 29, has bounced between odd jobs for years and currently sells essential oils part-time. Yet he's always been the one my parents brag about at holidays because he has such a big heart. The missed dinner wasn't even really missed. I texted twice that Sunday explaining a system outage at work needed me until 9. Apparently that didn't matter. When I drove home Monday after a double shift, my belongings were already gone. Not just moved, gone. My mattress frame, my winter coats, boxes of books I'd kept since college, all hauled off before I even had a chance to argue. I sat in the driveway a long time, replaying every dollar I'd handed them over 4 years, every upgrade I'd put off so their bills got paid instead of mine. 2 days later, I called the credit union. Since I was the primary signer on the home equity loan and had been listed as a resident of the property at signing, being removed from the home without notice qualified as a material change to the agreement. The representative, a calm, methodical woman named Denise, walked me through updating my mailing address on every account tied to my name. Then I called the insurance company, still listed under me as the primary policyholder, and redirected all correspondence. Finally, I called both credit card issuers and froze any new charges above $150. That evening, I mailed one envelope to the house. Inside were copies of every loan and card statement with my signature highlighted, along with a short note. Since I'm no longer considered family, I'm withdrawing from every financial obligation tied to that title. You have 30 days to refinance or find another solution. By Thursday, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. My mother left a voicemail that started with tears and ended with accusations. My father's message was 2 minutes of controlled fury, followed by a second call 20 minutes later, considerably softer once he understood what the paperwork actually meant. Colin apparently didn't stick around either. According to my mother's next voicemail, he and his fiancée moved out after 11 days once they realized nobody was covering their car payment anymore, leaving behind an unpaid electric bill and a hole in the drywall from moving furniture. My father showed up at my office last week, waiting in the parking lot for almost an hour. He looked exhausted, wearing the same jacket I remembered from years ago, now looking too big on him. "We were wrong," he said. "We panicked about money and took it out on the wrong person. Can we talk?" I told him I had a client call in 10 minutes and would try to find time later in the month. The irony isn't lost on me. They need my name back on those accounts more than they've ever needed anything, and for the first time in 4 years, I'm the one deciding whether that happens. My mother still calls twice a week, and I still let most of them go to voicemail, not out of spite, but because I finally learned the difference between being needed and being valued. And I won't confuse the two again for people who are ready to throw me out over one missed dinner.